Welcome back. Make sure we're recording. Yes, we are. All right. Well, thank you very much for being here. This is week 11 of our 12-week course for creating a mind with heart. And today we're going to continue demonstrating how to integrate Heart Compass Life Navigation, creating a mind with heart, with other spiritual and healing practices, the ones that I have experience with. I can only demonstrate what I have experience with. And I don't have any slides for you today. I do have a little video for you, but I'm going to be demonstrating, so you need to be able to see what I'm doing here. So this is a change, and let's see how it goes. So once again, this is week 11. If you missed any of the previous modules, then I've got some really great news for you at the end of this class about how you can get all caught up. And then I'm going to talk about the next class, which is going to be on June 28th, and that is going to be a class about recapping and reviewing, answering any last minute questions, and also what comes next. All right, and I'm really excited about that. So let's see, in the previous lesson in this module about combining practices for exponential results, we talked about tapping. Even though I have these false fear-based beliefs, I still deeply love and accept myself. And if you didn't see that, you can go back and watch that. You can always go just Google tapping or emotional freedom technique, and you can find videos and guides on how to do tapping and combine it with life navigation. So, and we talked about law of attraction, how to bridge the gap from what we think we want to what our heart truly desires. And then that's what we start giving substance to in our physical reality. And we talked about Barbara Marx Hubbard and conscious evolution, and how Barbara Marx Hubbard believes that we are moving from evolution by, competition or whatever, to or chance, to evolution by choice, conscious evolution. And she talks about becoming aware of who we really are, a new roadmap, a new vision, and also new practices. She talked about the importance of having a daily practice, because this is conscious, this is aware. If we don't have a daily practice, then we're going to be in reaction, not in response, not in creation. So I hope you have a practice. I did send out a poll before sending, so if you signed up for this, you answered the poll. And the number one practice, of course, is meditation, because that is the time-honored oldest spiritual practice around. And second came in manifestation techniques like law of attraction. And what I'm going to show you today will support both of those areas. There were some other areas as well, but I might be able to get to those at the end. We'll see. So the three areas that I am talking about today are going to be the healing codes by Dr. Alex Lloyd, the compassion key by Edward Mannix, and of course, meditation. And the healing codes was created by Dr. Alex Lloyd. He's a physician about 20 years ago, I think, because his wife was suffering from extreme depression and physical illnesses related to that. And the reason why I found healing codes, I found it a couple years after I started using life navigation, because he uses the same terminology that I do. He talks about false fear-based beliefs and love-based truth from the heart. And I go online trying to find other people doing heart-centered work and research. I had to check out this guy. And needless to say, I enrolled in his programs and worked with his coaches. And so I have some experience with healing codes. But the way he came across it is he is a religious man. And he had to travel by plane. And he was deep in prayer and asking God for a solution for his wife. And the healing codes came into his mind. And I have no trouble accepting that, because that's what I did. I asked for help and wake up in the morning and there it is. And then you ask other people to try it and it works. So what are you going to do? What healing codes is based upon is sending the healing energy, light of spirit, from your heart through your hands to your head, okay, to help heal your brain. Now remember, the very first module that we talked about in this course was about getting your brain ready. So if you're still working on that, if you're still struggling with that, healing codes is a great way to combine life navigation and another spiritual practice to improve your brain. And I waited for it till now because I wanted to show you how to integrate the two. But your fingers act like little lasers, little flashlights, shining the light of spirit into your brain. And there are a number of positions for the healing codes, just like there's a number of positions for tapping. And I'm going to show you those, but I have a video to go with it. Because after I found and used the healing codes for a while, I created a video that I put on YouTube, and it's had 80 or 100,000 views now, I'm not sure. And I call it the Daily Prayer for Peace of Mind. And it is this prayer that you use with the healing codes. It's about 2 minutes long. The healing codes recommend that you do the practice for 6 to 8 minutes. So you can run the video over again 2 or 3 times. It's available on YouTube. Or you can do it once and then do it again by yourself. But this is the, what is it called? The generic healing code. If you worked with a healing code coach, they would give you a different pattern, all right, based on your specific situation. But the way that healing code starts is you don't focus on the disease or illness in your body. You focus on the situation in your life. Does that sound familiar? It's life navigation. And then you focus on the heart, of course, and take a few deep breaths. And then you send the energy to the different points. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate this to you right now. I haven't done this before, but I have a video for you. Let's see what this does. Okay, look at that. There it is. And I think when I click on it, there we go. It will play. So this way you can read the words as I go through it. And then, like I said, you can go to YouTube and find it. It's had a lot of views, so it won't be hard to find. And then you can practice it yourself. But I'm going to show you the moves as we go through this. So let's get started. And there is theta brain entrainment audio under this, so that also helps with the brain. Okay, let's go ahead and play it. So of course, again, take a deep breath into your heart center. Create feelings of gratitude, compassion, appreciation. Point to your brow and say love, light, truth, and life. Please find, open, and heal. Now move down to your Adam's apple. Any false, fear-based thoughts, beliefs, ideas, and images, physical or non-physical, conscious and subconscious, that are related to my personal present life experience. Then to your jaw. Find them, open them, heal them, and replace them with love-based truth, love-based truth, love-based truth. I like to say it 3 times because of the power of the Trinity, power of 3. From the heart, from the heart, from the heart. Then you move up to the temples. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. And then stay there. I follow this with the Ho'oponopono prayer, which is a shamanic Hawaiian prayer for clearing and healing. And you just say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. What you're doing here is you're practicing forgiveness and self-compassion, which we're going to go into in the next one. And then just let the credits roll so you get the full 2 minutes. That's it. Okay, so that's very easy to do. All right, another thing that I like to do with this practice is before I do the actual physical healing, just like in tapping, at first I will identify an area of my life and ask, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? Write it down on Post-it notes, put it on the off-course side. And then when I do this love, light, truth, life, find, open, and heal the false fear-based beliefs, it's addressing specifically to the fear-based beliefs that I am targeting with Heart Compass Life Navigation. So it really empowers this. And I just want to share that I started using healing codes, oh gosh, probably around 2006 or so. And remember, I shared my story of how I think in the past year, I needed an MRI for something to look at in my neck, and they found that I had MS. But when the physician, the neurosurgeon, talked to me, he said that, well, yeah, you have it, but it's not active anymore. He said, it looks like you've had it for 20, 25 years. So I think I had it 20, 25 years ago. It was active for a while. I can't prove this, but it's possible that healing codes and life navigation stopped it in its tracks. So that was a very useful thing to do. And I'm trying to change slides again, but we don't have slides. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is Edward Mannix and his compassion key. I love the compassion key because you're sending yourself self-compassion. And that is what life navigation is all about. It's about replacing fear-based belief with love-based truth from your heart. Now, Edward and I see the world just a little bit different, but it's very similar. He talks about the soul shining the light into reality to create our life experience. And he talks about karmic imprints. He studied with a shamanic woman, an elderly shamanic woman, somewhere in Indonesia, I think. I can't remember the story completely. And what he says is that there are these karmic imprints which get in the way of the perfect, imprint for our life that's in our soul. So my personal experiences confirm that the blueprint for our perfect life is in the soul. But the way I look at it, who we really are, we are the ones shining the light through the blueprint of the soul and into the mind to create our reality. So we're similar that way. And I don't call it karmic imprints. I call it false fear-based beliefs. But I think we're talking about the same thing. So what he found is that when you use the compassion key, you're clearing away the karmic imprints, just like we clear away the false fear-based beliefs. We actually turn them right side up again so that the imprint in our soul can be manifested. Okay, this is manifestation into our life, whether it is financial, health, relationship, whatever it might be. And also he, in his books, he teaches about working even at the planetary level, which we're on the same page there as well. I agree that we can do that. So the compassion key, there's two forms. There's a long form and a short form. In the long form, what you're doing is you are imagining yourself sitting in a figure eight. You are in one wing of the figure eight, and the other wing of the figure eight is out in front of you. And I love doing this in bed, sitting in bed. And then what you do is you think about the situation in your life that's causing you an issue, right? Just like Heart Compass. But instead of asking, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? You only ask, what am I feeling? And then you ask yourself, when was the first time that I had that feeling, experienced that feeling in the most intense form? And for most of us, that's in early childhood, between ages 6 and 10. Remember my story that I was born into a family of, my parents were Holocaust survivors. And so between the ages of 6 and 10, my exposure to those stories had a very powerful impact. So the way you do this is that you remember that powerful feeling when it was, and then you imagine reaching into yourself and taking that child out and placing him or her in the other wing of the infinity symbol. And you ask him or her, what are you feeling? Okay, and they will tell you, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling angry. But they'll also say things like, my brother's a jerk, or my mom won't give me what I want, or I'm scared, or I'm cold, or I'm hungry, or whatever it is that they're feeling and they're thinking. So they are thinking these thoughts. The way I combine this is with life navigation, and I'll tell you compassion key in a moment, is that at that stage, I will write down those false fear-based beliefs for my little child who can't write yet or do any of that, and take the post-it notes and put it on the off-course side. And then I do the self-compassion. I say, I'm so sorry. It's written on post-it notes here. I'm so sorry that your brother's a jerk. I'm so sorry your mother won't give you what you need or what you want. I'm so sorry you're sad. I'm so sorry that you're angry. I'm so sorry that you're cold or hungry, whatever it is. It's written on the Post-it notes, and you're sending compassion to that little one. What you're doing is you're sending love-based truth to them. You're sending that essence to them, and it's healing this. It's turning those fear-based beliefs right side up, and you can watch as that little you, that mini me, starts to become like a normal child. Starts going, starts playing with things and starts getting happy. And you can see they're not distracted anymore. You can say, how are you feeling? I was like, I'm sleepy. I want to take a nap now. And then you could just take them and imagine that you're putting them back into yourself, integrating into you. Okay. And then to complete the process, you can write whatever love-based truth you heard in your own head and write it on 3x5 index cards and complete the life navigation system. So what you've done is you have done Heart Compass, Life Navigation, and Compassion Key for a young version of yourself that is still existing at a subconscious level. Now, with Life Navigation, I prefer to work with what is happening in your current life experience. Compassion Key begins there. It begins in your current life experience. It's not so much about delving into your past lives and into your childhood experiences, but bringing that out into the present moment and healing it. Yes, very powerful stuff. So if you can look up Compassion Key, you can look up Edward Mannix online, and it's great for manifestation. It's great for healing. And he also has a global view, very much in alignment with mine. I hope someday to partner with him on something and bring more to you. All right, how are we doing? We're good. Okay. So finally, there's meditation. Of course, meditation is the most common, most popular spiritual healing technique on the planet for good reason. And it's very simple to combine life navigation with it. All I do is before I do my meditation practice, I will go, okay, what's going on in my life right now? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? Write it on the Post-it notes, and then create heart coherence. Ask the heart for love-based truth, and meditate. Okay. And so what you're getting is you're getting a more directed, targeted kind of meditation. Instead of just sitting down and focusing on your breath, okay, you're focusing on your heart, all right? And you are breathing in and out of your heart, but it's targeted towards these false fear-based beliefs. You're asking for love-based truth. You're noticing the fear-based beliefs as they come up, okay? But you also hear the love-based truth when it comes to you. And then just like when you have a dream, in the morning you get up and you might write down your dream in a journal. Same thing, when you're finished meditating, write down your love-based truth on a 3x5 index card. Or keep it in a journal if you're keeping your love-based truths in a journal instead of index cards. You could do it that way as well. And then toss your Post-it notes, and that's it. So meditation is a great way to enhance your ability to hear, receive love-based truth from the heart. Combining them, combining Heart Compass, Life Navigation, and meditation will improve your results in both areas. Okay, how are we doing? All right, well, that's about it for the practices that I use. Let me take a look here at the polls really quick. All right, meditation, 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 creating sacred space. All right, I'm glad I took a look, because I wanted to say that if you create your own Heart Compass Life Navigation Kit, as described in the Heart Compass Owner's Manual, you are creating an altar, a sacred space for yourself. You know that when you come to that space, you enter into that sacred space where you're going to create heart coherence, and you're going to transform, all right, fear-based belief into love-based truth. So, if you have a sacred space, add a life navigation kit to it, and you can do your practice there. Perfect, perfect combination. Law of attraction, we talked about, lots of that, lots of that. Okay, and meditation and mindfulness. Those are definitely the most popular ones. Anything else? No. Okay, there we go. Hold on just a second. looking for any other questions. There we go. All right then. Well, I think that wraps it up for now. This is actually the last actual class of our 12-week course. Next week, I'm going to do a summary, a recap of the entire thing. But most important, I'm going to talk about what are we going to do next? Where are we going to go next? Now, I know that some of you are just coming on here late at the end if you're at the Virtual Learning Center at Expertise TV. So I received some inner guidance this past weekend that for the next week or two, all right, get this, I am going to make the entire course available at the Virtual Learning Center for about the next week or two, okay? Next week is the last live class, and then I'll leave it up again for another week because you get to watch the replay for a week, and then maybe a day or two after that. So that will give you plenty of time to go back and experience everything and go through the whole program again if you missed anything. I don't want you to miss anything. But then they will have to be taken down. And so I'm going to talk about where to go next after we're done with all of this. All right. So make sure you come back next week. All right. And that's about it. We've been about 20 minutes. And thank you so much again for being here. I hope that you will, if you haven't heard about healing codes or compassion key before, maybe check them out. Whatever your favorite practice is, definitely if you're meditating, bring them together. And if you have a sacred space, bring your life navigation kit there, and let me know, what your results about. You can message me here on Expertise TV, or if you're seeing this on a different platform, there's probably someplace to leave a comment. Thank you again so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, bye for now.